Good morning in America and in North America. So, good morning to you there. Good evening from us here. It is 11 p.m. Thailand time, and this is actually our last week here. I have been here for 6 weeks, and Rob has been here for 2 months, and we will be headed to a very nearby country. So, our flight next weekend is a short one. So,
Very short.
so that's good that it's not going to be a long flight. So we'll be in that country for about a month there, and then we'll come back to Thailand. So everybody knows probably by now that we really enjoy visiting Thailand. It's like our second home country. So welcoming you guys in here. We scheduled it this week, and I think that worked out really good because it kind of gave everybody a little heads up, right?
Yeah, our first time scheduling it, so it did work better. We got a suggestion last week from someone to do that, so thank you for that.
Thank you, whoever that was. I can't remember who it is. Sorry.
Yeah. So, welcome though. Glad you're all here. There's a couple questions that were already here when we popped on,
fast.
so we'll go ahead and answer
Okay.
one of those for them because they're probably already here.
Okay.
While everybody files in. And yes, good morning to you. Good evening from us. Yeah, Art is asking about the Southwest Chief, Chicago to Los Angeles. Is there room for a 26-inch suitcase in the accessible room H? Yes, there is room for a lot of suitcases in there.
You could probably bring 3 of those and fit
But
them in there.
the thing is that you're right, well, not right next to, but probably 10 steps from the luggage racks. So even if you don't want to have it in there, you can put your suitcase right on the luggage rack and basically have access to it whenever you want.
Yeah, and it's a safe place to keep your bag. That's always where we put our bags when we are on a superliner, which is what the Southwest Chief is. So you should be fine either way, but you have plenty of room for a 26-inch bag in your accessible room, or you can take it out in the hallway and put it up on the little rack.
And his second question, which is stealing one of the tips I was going to share today.
Oh.
So it's a good question. Can all traditional dining meals be served in your room? Yes, they can.
They certainly can. Yeah, just let your attendant know. He or she will come and introduce themselves to you and, let you know, ask you if you're able to go or if you want to go. And if not, then they will bring all of your meals to your room to you.
Yes. Hello, everyone that's just filing in.
Everyone's piling in at
Yeah,
once. That's
good.
awesome.
Leave your questions down below in the chat if you want, and we will get to them. We're going to scroll through them all.
Yeah, and we are going to be doing our live. We're doing back-to-back, so we're doing live here, and then we're going over to our other channel, Grounded Life Finances. The link is down in the description for that channel. We're going to go over there in about 30 minutes. Or like 25 minutes at this point, go over there and do live with our subscribers there. So if you're a subscriber there also, or you just want to come and hang out with us for another 30 minutes, you can come over there.
Exactly. Krista says, going on the California Zephyr in July. First time on Amtrak. Thank you for your videos. So
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Ooh, and it's going to be really pretty. In July, everything is going to be really pretty and green. It's going to be nice.
Tracy's asking, I will be taking Amtrak to Los Angeles to go on a cruise. I'll be in a private room. Do you know if they were remodeled? Well, they probably won't be like brand new. So if you're going to Los Angeles, you're going to be on a superliner. And, some of them are less newer than others, but there's Superliner 1, Superliner 2. I do want to say, though, about a cruise, make sure you're not getting in to Los Angeles on the day of your cruise. Make sure you get in the night before, because we were actually on the Empire Builder with people cruising from Seattle.
Yes.
And we were 6 to 8 hours late, and they were really getting concerned.
It was getting really close to the wire for them on when they could get. They were literally several times in the hallway on the phone with the cruise company, making sure. I heard them chatting with the attendant. It was very stressful. You don't want that kind of stress.
Yeah, they were actually looking at all the stops, like, can we get off here and just take an Uber? Because one of the problems is you think you're going to get in, like you're 30 minutes away. Well, especially this is bad in Chicago. Oftentimes you'll be like, you can see the downtown Chicago, and it'll be 45 minutes before you get in because there's traffic or there's whatever the case may be. You just aren't going to get right in there as quickly as you can. So, and once you're not at a station, you can't get off. So,
Right.
that is problematic for
A
people.
little bit of a problem.
Let's see. TLP says we took Southwest Chief recently. Is the Zephyr any smoother of a ride? What do you think? We don't really notice it.
I don't know about if I found them to be pretty similar for the most part. But I guess I'm used to the movement of the train. But I think they're fairly similar, don't you?
Yeah. I'm interested to hear from some of you if you've been on both of those. Do you find one less bumpy than the other? Because we never really noticed it enough to make an observation which one was better or worse. I think I missed a question up here from Pamela. How safe, difficult is it to get down from the top bunk in a roomette while the train is moving? It's pretty safe if you have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then it could be pretty dangerous. But you need to practice it at least once. Don't go down like feet first. So, and make sure your head's on the right end. So you want to go down backwards. You don't want to go down. You should go down feet first, but not forwards feet first. Go down backwards like you're climbing.
So your body should be facing the bed. So turn yourself, this is the bed, turn yourself towards the bed and then drop your feet down and then go down from there so that you can hang on to the bed and to the seatbelt thing that is not seatbelt, but to the, the guard thing that's hanging up above, keeping you into the bed.
Yeah, and there should be light on. Like what I do is normally, the lights on the hallway are always on. So if you are getting down and it's nighttime, I usually pull open the top corner of the little curtain, and that lets a little bit of light in, and then you can see actually what you're stepping on. So that's my biggest tip.
Because the night light in the room is not really that bright, at all.
Let's see. Do you have any tips for booking the best hotel for train travelers? What do you think?
Well, let's see. It really just depends. We actually on our website have articles on each one of what hotels we recommend for each of the stations, of the major stations. And so we have our recommendations on there. But as far as getting the best deal, we usually use different credit cards for the points and loyalty programs, because then we get free upgrades of rooms, which is really nice. We like that. A lot of times we get free breakfast and other perks as well. So we try to do that most of the time.
We just got the Marriott Bonvoy card, and the reason we got it was because they were offering a bunch of free actual nights, not the points. And when we're in overseas, we prefer the points, but we're in America, the points do not go that far. So we prefer the free nights, and we wanted to be able to. Oftentimes we'll get into New York City and we'll be like, we just gotta leave because the hotels are $500 a night.
No joke.
And so if we have the free nights, you can stay for 3 or 4 nights. And so the cards we use are in the description of this video.
And actually we discuss all of that kind of stuff over on Grounded Life Finances. For those of you joining us, in just a little bit, we're gonna be heading over to Grounded Life Finances for our live chat there as well. So we'll try to answer as many of your questions here before we hop over there.
Brian is asking another hotel question. Do you have any tips for avoiding paying for a full day after the Coast Starlight? So we did this in Edmonton. There's a couple websites. If you search on Google, it's called Day Use Hotel, and you can get a hotel for 6 hours, 8 hours, and if you're not staying the night, we did that, and it was good, right?
Yeah, it was great because it gave us a place to go sit with our bags. We literally had all day waiting there, so we didn't have anywhere else where we could put our bags. And so that was the perfect thing to do. We actually got to rest a little bit, and it was perfect. And it was actually fairly inexpensive. The hotels they do that because they have a bunch of empty rooms, and it's better to get something for it than nothing, so they do that.
Someone's asking here, I've already lost it, but they're asking, do you have any tips on where I can go on spring break from Florida? I think on Amtrak. So you're a little bit limited because you have to ride the Silver Star, the Silver Meteor. And if you only want to ride the one train, which I would recommend to not waste time, I would go to DC or New York City. That's
Yeah.
what I would do.
Yeah, there's lots to do, and especially in DC, probably you'll get a little bit better deal on hotels there. Plus, there's tons to do there and a lot of free things to do as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Going to be riding Lakeshore Limited next week, and I'm wondering how early can you check your bags? Wondering if I need to store my bags while out to find lunch. Let's see, where are you going from? Doesn't really say. Usually in Chicago and New York, if you're going from there, you can check them a couple hours before. And it has to be within a half hour. So we've never had a problem. Whenever we showed up, they've always just taken them.
Yeah, if you're on the Lakeshore Limited in a sleeper car, you can store them in the lounge, and like if you're in Chicago Union Station, actually in both of them, in both Chicago and New York, you can store your bags in the lounge if you're in a sleeper car. If not, then if you're in coach, then you would probably have to check it. And I've never tried to check it more than an hour.
Yeah, because that's right. Because you can leave them in the lounge.
Yeah, because you could just leave them in the lounge. So,
is shampoo provided on the train?
It is not. They usually only provide like a little bar of soap.
Yeah,
one of those little bars.
Like
they're not reusable. They're just like single use, real small. They come in a little, tear package. That's usually all they provide. But I usually already have a little one with me anyways. So I just tend to use that.
All right, let me give a couple tips here before I get to more questions, because I did prepare a couple of really good tips. One. This is not one that I do, but I've seen it done many times because I sleep on the upper bunk. And a lot of times when you get on there, if you're on a superliner, you'll notice that if you have your head in the correct direction, which is going to be away from the ladder, the air vent is like literally this far from your head, like right there. And so the vent will not close properly. It will not close all the way, not like the one in your house will. So if you don't like it cold, there's a possibility that cold air will be blowing on you all night. I do not mind that. That's what I prefer. So I don't do this tip. But on many occasions, I've crawled up there, and on the air vent, there will be about a foot long piece of duct tape that is just taped to the side of it, and that's enough just to hit the air and have it go down.
Kind of change the direction of it.
Yeah, so it's not like right on your face. And I just take it off because I want the air. But if you are a person that does not like air like right on you, maybe bring a little bit of duct tape.
That will work well.
Helpful for you. So I don't know if you've ever. Do you get too hot down on the lower level, or too cold, or what is it?
No, I mean, I'm always cold, so.
Yeah.
I'm down there curled up with all the blankets. I sleep with my cardigans. Sometimes I wrap my scarf around. I'm always cold, so.
What is the difference between riding on the lower level of the auto train opposed to the upper level? I'm going to assume you mean in coach, possibly, but it could be in a sleeper. It's really just the view, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the only difference. If you're in
Bathroom.
coach, yeah, you obviously don't have the privacy of the room, but that's really pretty much the same. You're going to see the same thing, but for the most part on the auto train, you're sleeping the whole time. You get on there, you eat dinner, and after dinner, there's a little bit of light. You do have a little bit of nice views, and then that goes away pretty quickly. You go to bed. When you wake up, there's really not a ton to see. You're in Florida already, not that far from the station, and that's pretty much it. So I wouldn't book a room just for the view because you're not really going to see anything super exciting.
I see our good friend Pablo is on the chat.
Pablo!
Hi, Pablo.
Hi, Pablo.
Pablo flew to Barcelona to go on a cruise with us last year.
He did, yes.
Yeah, so
that was
awesome.
Fun. Yeah, we had a good time.
Has government budgeting shutdown ever adversely affected your trips? Not yet. We've been lucky.
No, we've missed it every time.
Really, if you're going to.
And actually, one time we were concerned and made some calls to check, and everything was fine. So, So far, so good.
So far, so good. Does the Northeast Corridor have sleeper, or is that only on the Crescent? Maybe you're talking about the regional.
Oh, the Northeast Regional.
They do have sleeper, but only on the really late train, and that's because you don't really need it. It's not really a long enough train.
It's not going that far, really.
So
yeah, if you wanted to be in a sleeper during the daytime on that route, you would do the Crescent.
Okay, White Sox Tom. How safe is your... I'm a Tigers fan, by the way. How safe is your stuff and Braves? Like luggage in a roomette over coach. So how much more safe is your luggage in a roomette versus in coach?
Oh, well, I think it's the same, basically. I don't know
If you're there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're...
Yeah.
I think
but
it's
if you're,
the same.
If you're in a roomette, you could leave your computer
right
on your seat,
of course.
probably. And
And just close the door.
But I wouldn't do that in coach.
Yes, of course not. But I think they mean like luggage, like your suitcase, maybe.
Your suitcase, that's
if you mean
same.
like your suitcase, that's not a problem, or like your carry-on, not a problem. But if you have, like things that are expensive with you, like computer, tablets, phone, wallet, all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't leave that stuff ever in your seat. I would always take it with you. But if you're in a roomette in a sleeper car, you don't have to do that. You can leave your stuff in your room and have no worries.
Yeah.
So that is the difference there.
Let's see. Marcia says, I'm 75, would like to take a long trip in a roomette. Minimize the days and nights alone in hotels. I live near Las Vegas. That doesn't help. This is true.
Yeah.
Any suggestions? Well, you can actually go from Las Vegas pretty easily to the Southwest Chief. Mm-hmm. So that's probably my suggestion, is you could do the Southwest Chief to Los Angeles, stay one night there, and then take the Texas Eagle, which is the longest Amtrak route all the way to Chicago.
Yeah.
That would be probably the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
Or you
wouldn't have to do really any nights.
Yeah, you could drive actually, or there's a lot of shuttles or buses that go from Vegas to LA. That actually probably be easier. Yeah. Just go start in LA and then take the Texas Eagle. That's going to be the longest one. Simon asks, is there a weight limit for the top bunk? We have been told there is no weight limit, and I can't imagine what you would be, how much weight you'd have to have there to.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of different shapes and sizes of people up in that upper bunk, and those things are solid. They are solid.
Yeah, as Doc says, it's more of a size limit. Yeah, it is pretty tight.
Right. Yes, you're right. That's exactly right.
On a superliner,
on a superliner, you're going to run out of space before you run out of weight limit.
Let's see. Are the trains cold or warm during the winter in a roomette the entire way?
I will say, to me, Rob's always going to say they're hot. But I guess, to be fair, I'm probably going to say that they're always cold. But I think in the wintertime, you would think that they would run the heat more, but they don't really run the heat that much. You can pump it in your room. They'll run it that way, but like in the hallways, they don't really have like the heat, like, flaming. So it's not too bad in the winter.
Yeah.
You can control it if you're in a room.
Art's asking, have you ever organized cruises, i.e. tour operator? We have done a couple trips, and we're thinking about some more. So you can tell them about that.
Yeah, we do have some probably coming up that we're working on. We're actually talking to some people about possibilities for cruises maybe, so keep an eye out.
Bill's asking, of all the Amtrak routes, which is the most scenic and best way to go?
Definitely, if you're looking for the most scenic, I would say the California Zephyr. And it really doesn't matter which direction you go in. We usually take it from east to west, only because we're usually leaving Chicago from seeing our son and heading towards California to see our daughter. So usually we go in that order. I don't know why. Maybe we're going in from oldest to youngest child. But we tend to go east to west. But I think we did it one time from west to east, and it was pretty much the same. So no difference.
Yeah, it is pretty much the same.
But the California Zephyr is for sure the one you want to go on for scenic.
So I think I caught up on the questions. If you have more questions or I missed it, they scroll pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Just put it back in there if I missed it.
And we have only a few more minutes.
I'll get to a few more.
So we'll give you a few more
couple tips. Bring small bills, right?
Yes. So you want to, if you're planning on tipping the dining car attendants and your room attendant, bring smaller bills so that you don't have to say, hey, will you break this for me? You want to be able to make change for if you want to give $5 or $7 or $2 or $3, whatever you want to do, like for the dining. And then, obviously bring whatever denomination you think you need for what you're going to give your room attendant. And we usually say for the room attendant, at least $5 to $10 per person per night is what we usually tip our room attendant. And for the dining, and the room attendant, we always tip at the end because they're the last person that you see before you get off the train. And then for the dining, we usually tip per the meal because they usually have several people in there and you're not always going to get the same server. So you want to make sure the person serving you is the person who gets the tip. So we usually tip the server at each meal.
Hello, brown-eyed girl. She is here.
She's back. We saw your comment at the very beginning.
I did have one more tip I wanted to get in, which I
she was watching hockey.
I was up late too watching hockey. I was watching the Red Wings, which came on here at midnight. Another tip that is important for people to know is, this is for if you're in the sleeper, the observation car is open 24 hours a day. Now that's important for everybody, even if you're in coach. But in a sleeper, the tip is, so if one of you sleeps late or sleeps early and you want to get up, you could take your computer, go down to the observation car, sit, there's lights on, you can do whatever you want to do, let the other person sleep. But when I first tried this, I ran into a pretty severe problem, which was, it was like 11, it was like midnight, I think, and Ellie was asleep, and I'll go down to the observation car, I got my computer, I get out there in the hallway, and I go to shut the door, and I realize you can't lock the door from outside. And so what ended up happening was the door, as the train was jostling, just kept sliding open and like banging, and so it ended up waking her up. Not a good thing. So there's no way to lock the door to secure it. So what we do is we bring like a small flip-flop, that can be compressed, and if you put it right on the end of the door and you kind of take your door and you can wedge the flip-flop under the door, then it will stay there until you get back, and the other person will not wake up. That even works if you're going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Because if you go to the bathroom and you're gone for like 10 minutes, that door banging around could wake the other person up. So have something.
Not only the other person, but everybody in the hall.
Yeah, have something that will compress, that you can kind of wedge the door. So yeah, that's an important one that has worked for us well, right?
Well, we got about 2-ish more minutes.
Yeah.
You want to do kind of a quickie rapid fire?
We'll do.
So guys, don't forget, we're going over to Grounded Life Finances. The link for that is down in the description. If you want to keep conversing with us, we'll be talking about, of course, finance stuff over there. So that link is down in the description when we're done here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, we are thinking about doing a video, Joshua, about the booking process, like Amtrak A to Z, everything you need to know. Yes, so
yeah, because that could be, it can be very confusing and complicated because of the way they do their search system in their programming. Exactly.
So yeah, Doc says never leave home without a small roll of duct tape and a rubber doorstop.
There you go.
True.
Yes.
That is true. That would be great. Yeah. Yeah, we are working on the screen sharing. It's a little hard because our lives are coming from different apartments every month. We're going to be moving
in different countries.
It's a little, the setup is, we have to keep it a little tight. So yeah, we will do that. If we do a live booking, we'll definitely do a screen share.
Yes.
So we are probably going to end it here. And well, we wanted to tell you too about what we're going to talk about over on the other channel real quick. We're going to be talking about finances over there, about a lot of people ask us financial questions on this channel, and it's really not the place for it. So we started the Ground Life Finance channel. If you wondered about our finances, how we pay for Amtrak, YouTube finances, any of that. We put out a video this week on that channel of how much YouTube pays us and all that good stuff. So if you want to know all that, anything financial, we're going to talk about it over there in 5 minutes. So
that's right.
Link is in the description.
All right, we'll see you guys over there. Thank you guys for joining in. And next week, we will not be in Thailand. We'll be in a surprise country.
Yep. We'll see you same time, hopefully, with
same
good
time
flights.
next week, different country. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.